Call to order the September 18th, 2025 Village Board meeting. Roll call shows trustees present. Jane, Oak, and Carrie are excused. Staff is present. Ally is excused, and we have Attorney Ashley in attendance. 4, agenda changes. Are there any? Okay, 5, consent agenda. A, September 4th, 2025 regular board meeting minutes. B, presentation of accounts and other claims against the village. If there are no questions, I would need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda.
Also.
Roll call, Jim.
I'll say I wasn't here.
Okay. You can vote on the accounts though.
Yeah, well, I can't verify that they're correct, so.
Okay. All right. Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried. 6, pre-registered citizens to be heard. You have a limit of 5 minutes. State your name and address. B, comments to be limited to 5 minutes. C, pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.832 and 19.842, the board's role is to listen to public comments and not to ask questions, discuss, or take action regarding the pre-registered citizens' comments. Are there any?
Craig Dreyer, 52 Parkview Lane.
Hi, thank you for seeing me. First off, nice job keeping the park mowed over there. No thistle seeds blowing around, so nice job there. Next comment is, these are the things that I pick up in my yard all the time when I go to mow. Okay? Guess where they're coming from? My favorite subdivision. Okay? So, just a question is, I try to pick them up ahead of time, but if I don't, and I hit it with my lawnmower, who's gonna pay for my blades? I picked up about 8 of these already. Now, part of that might be taken care of if that section of the road, and if you drive by there, you can see, there's gravel everywhere. Do you know the last time that sweeper came through? Probably been about 2 months. Okay? I saw the sweeper over here about 3-4 weeks ago. I was expecting him to come out here, didn't show up. So I would appreciate if that stuff would be cleaned up. As I'm out working in the yard, working over on that berm and stuff, the neighbor kids come by, they got the kids, they're pushing strollers and everything. And they're like, boy, it'd be nice if this was cleaned up. We don't have to stroll out in the middle of the road, safety issue. Okay? So I would appreciate if that would be cleaned up a little more often. Okay? That way I don't hopefully have to pick those up. They were probably in the road. A truck or something came by, hit it, kicked it up into my yard. I'm suspecting that's what happened. So, just would appreciate if that would happen more. The next thing, when they were fixing the curb, you know which section I'm talking about, there's still a little 3x4 foot square of asphalt that has not been replaced yet. So we're talking 2.5, 3 months. I would like that replaced before winter comes. I noticed that you put the coat on underneath the bridge. That was taken care of. I kind of expected, my fault, that maybe you would come down and get that section taken care of. Didn't happen. So I would appreciate that that gets taken care of. We also talked about, in that same section, they replaced about this much of the curb. And if you took one step over, you can see a huge crack going all the way across the curb down into the gravel. I sent you pictures of that. And I think you and I both agreed that they should have fixed that as well. But they haven't. So I'm requesting that that get fixed. Okay? I do take pride in my yard when you come by. So when I see all of that stuff there, and it's been there for a long time, I get a little frustrated. Okay? Last thing I would ask is, and I don't know the answer, so I'm just asking. When is the subdivision supposed to have the curb and first binder down by? Is there a time frame when they start the subdivision to when they have that down? I know that typically they put it down first so that it can make sure that it doesn't get any bubbles or anything in it like that. But we've been patient this whole year, cleaning our windows, getting the dust off them. I would appreciate to know when that's supposed to happen. We're already mid-September. You can maybe lay asphalt to mid-November if you're lucky. I just don't honestly know if they're gonna get it done in 2 months, but I'd like a timeline of when it's supposed to be done. That's all I ask. Thank you. I'll take
Thank
my
you.
rocks back.
7, committee reports. A, library board, Ally is out and Carrie is out. 8, unfinished business from previous meetings, there's none. 9, new business. A, swearing in of Officer Devin McCready.
Either way. Hello. Hi. All right, I, Devin McCready,
I, Devin McCready,
having been certified as a law enforcement officer
having been certified as a law enforcement officer
by the Law Enforcement Standards Board,
by the Law Enforcement Standards Board,
and having been duly appointed as a police officer
and having been duly appointed as a police officer
for the Hortonville Police Department,
for the Hortonville Police Department,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office
and will faithfully and
impartially,
impartially discharge the duties of said office
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations and
Congrats,
welcome.
welcome.
B, discussion and possible action on John Street Fountain Court project pay app.
So this is the first pay application for our John Street and Fountain Street projects we had going on this fall. It has been reviewed by our engineer, and I went through it with him, and everything looks good on it.
So this is for a payment of, is the 71,566.33?
Yes.
Okay.
Any questions? Otherwise, we would need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve a payment in the amount of $71,566.33 with Northeast Asphalt.
Second.
Roll call, Jim.
Aye.
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 Motion carried. C, discussion and possible action on approval of new ward map.
This is a result of the annexation. So if you look at that's the old map, and then the new one's in there with a tiny little sliver of red. It was a different Allegheny supervisory district, so that's why we need to have the new ward. Even though there will be no voters, that's the procedure. So, we just need approval on that map.
Any questions? Otherwise, we need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to approve the ward map as presented in the packet for September 18th, 2025.
Second.
Roll call, Jim.
Aye.
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 Motion carried. D, discussion and possible action on R-15-25, resolution amending the fee schedule.
There's a few different things. Fingerprinting was one that we wanted to add for the police department, that we didn't have an actual fee set up for. The other thing was reducing down the bike registration fee. That was at $10. We don't normally have people come in and do it, but we figured if we want to keep it on for, I know we talked about this in the past, like for kids that want to register their stuff. We have the tags, we just haven't used any of them. So the current fee is $10, so we figured we'd drop it down to 0, and we have, yeah. The fees for the building permit, state seals, those prices went up. It was at $33. The cost of them are now, I think it was like 38 something per, so we just increased it to 40.
Any questions? Otherwise, we need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve R-15 dash 25.
I'll second.
Roll call, Jim?
Aye.
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 Motion carried. E, discussion and possible action on, excuse me, on Main and Nash intersection design for 2026 reconstruction.
So this is the Main and Nash intersection, that was sent to us last week, for review. So you got the main intersection right now, if you're basically going more north, the biggest change is basically they're gonna take a portion of the, square, across from the bowling alley and acquire some land and basically have a turn lane there, to go north on M or Nash Street. The other big change would be changing it down to a single lane on each side. Right now we have a few areas that's double lane, making the four-way stop a little more dangerous that way, so we shrunk it down to a single lane. There should be less width for people to walk across, for the crosswalk in the road, and then also, less to look at while you're trying to maneuver pedestrians and traffic.
I have a couple questions. So if you're traveling westerly, wanting to turn north, so that new right turn lane that's made, is it a stop sign there or a yield sign?
I don't think it's called for yet.
Okay, the reason why I ask is because when we redid this, we asked the county to look at the intersection of Oak and Nash. It was my understanding it was gonna be like a freeway stop, but there's still a yield sign if you're taking a right turn. And I would have concerns,
No, there is
No,
no.
it's a stop.
I just drove by it, it's a yield sign.
A yield sign.
There's a yield sign there.
to a yield?
Yeah.
'Cause it was a stop.
No, I think she's talking about the turn by the bank,
So like when
Go
you're
north
turning
on
north,
if you're
Okay.
coming from the school.
so like if you're on Nash Street turning north on Oak to go towards Commercial Cove Park, that
Okay,
that right turn there where it's kind of its own lane, that's a yield sign. So it's confusing when you're in a three-way stop and there's a stop sign if you're going straight, but there's a yield if you're going right. And the concern that I have, based on watching the crossing guard in the morning,
Yep.
If that were to be a yield there,
I agree, yeah.
that would be horrible. And maybe we've got a number of officers here, maybe they feel, they've got strong feelings on it, but I just know that that's a long ways for a crossing guard to get kids across with a possible yield sign there. And the other question I had, is we also talked about parking on Main from Nash towards Oak. So there's no parking on the south end, but did this take away any of the parking on the north side of the road?
Not that I know of on Main, but, okay, yeah, so you're talking towards the southern.
So you can kind of see like our property there, obviously. I know there was gonna be parking in front of there, and there was also gonna be parking in front of where that empty lot is now. I'm just curious if that takes away any of the parking there. I could not figure it out based on this drawing. I could see that there was a bump out near the lanes. I could see a bump out, but I can't see, and then I can't see like on Nash, like in front of Claire's place, if there's any parking that's, like, did this change anything in that plan?
Which spot are you?
Okay, let's talk about Main, on the
Main,
north side of Main.
I don't recall them having parking from basically a little past your house, they kind of ended it.
Okay,
As for on the South Nash, heading towards Main Street, we requested that,
Okay.
from them, and the county and the engineers both stated that they didn't think that it would be, they said it would be a safety issue
okay,
to have a parking stall, one in there right next to the exit by the
Okay.
intersection, is what we were told.
And
We
then,
brought that up to them as well.
still looking at the South Nash, there's existing concrete sidewalk that goes near the, like the fishing pier there. So what you're saying is that the sidewalk then wouldn't be where the curb is literally now the street? Like right now, if you were on that sidewalk and traffic can be just inches away from you is what you're, right now, this adds a little bit of a terrace, or does this add
Yeah.
some buffer there?
It's a terrace.
Okay. What do we need to do to make sure the county knows we want a stop sign versus a yield sign, or do we even have a say in that?
I think we just tell them that.
That's what we
The only thing we would accept is if it was a stop sign.
Okay. And I'm gonna ask another question, just because looking at this, and I would ask also the county, like, where would they do stop sign placement? So you've got this triangle, this little island here, does that mean that there's a stop sign there? Or is the stop sign way back by where it starts to curve? Like if you back up a little bit in your photo. So where is that, is there gonna be like 2 stop signs, 3 stop signs? How is that going to be, because normally you're taught, and again, law enforcement's here, normally you're taught to stop, you know, at that stop sign or behind the stop sign. I'm just kind of curious where they're gonna be putting placement there to prevent any confusion. And I'm sure they're engineers, I'm not an engineer,
Right.
but if
Wouldn't
this,
it be before the crosswalk? I would assume, so that people
would
don't
think.
pull into the crosswalk?
you would think, but then I was looking at like where that curves, like, so then there'd be another stop sign before the crosswalk at the curve. Or if they were planning on doing a yield sign, that's where, and then I looked at the intersection over here by Nash and Oak and went, where would they put these signs? And that's where I just tried to figure that out. I'm not an engineer, but I think we could ask the questions just to be certain.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have them in this design as of right now. It's a good question to ask.
Only I think of like when we did the stop signs by Mill and Main, we ended up having to do barrels with signs or whatever in the middle of the street because they weren't visible enough by the sidewalk. This is much more visible, but just trying to, figured now is the time to ask the questions. Okay. Are we approving something tonight, or what is this discussion and possible action? So what is the action? Is it approval of this?
I mean, technically, not really. It's just kind of getting your opinions on it, that we can get back to the county for the notes. So, yeah.
I'd like to know that before we sign off on it,
Mhm.
yeah. Unless anyone else has other questions, it's just that this is so close to where I'm at, so I looked at it and looked outside. And there's other folks that live nearby too, that might have an opinion.
Anyone else have a question on the board? No? So you're just going to take back those questions and bring it back when we need to?
I don't know if it'll come back necessarily,
Okay,
but
cause their final decision.
but it's their decision as the final one.
Yeah.
We can give them our notes and what our concerns are, and that's kind of what we're gonna relay back to them.
Okay, does
We
it
can,
help?
we can tell you what their answer is for the location and placements, and, if you wanna message me back on kind of, if you have concerns with it, I can address that to them.
Is this like a committee? Is this a board? Is this one individual? Like, would it help if I contact Dean Steingraber myself? No.
He's no longer there.
Oh,
So it's basically, they have an interim right now, and, the 2 engineers that have been working with us from the county, and then man engineering group, and then
okay.
basically trying to talk with them, so,
Well, if you could push back, let me know, and I'm happy to call someone and give them my opinion. Not that it
Yeah.
matters any more than yours, but,
they've worked with us pretty well on some issues, it's just,
okay. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move to 10, report of village officials. A, clerk treasurer, Jane.
My report was in the packet.
Any questions for Jane? Okay, B, director of public works, Aaron.
My report was in the packet, and the Fountain Court and John Street projects have been completed.
Okay, any questions?
Are we still doing, like the height, the surveys for, are we still working on them? So the, copper pipes versus the,
Yeah, we have
are we making progress on that still?
we have a app that has it all, and it's open to the public to see, where we are with it. We have to do another submission to DNR here later this fall.
Okay.
But as of now, there is no lead pipes in the, that we found in the village.
Okay.
But we're caught up with all the, categorized ones that we needed to do.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll move to C, police chief, Brian.
Reports in the packet, just, you know, rolling with some staffing changes, very positive feedback and training with Officer McCready. A few weeks should be back to full staff. Just the other thing, note, just some local, you know, safety concerns at districts in our area with the start of school, and been meeting with those officials just to kind of keep up on things and just look at other strategy schools are using to make sure that we're just staying up with the safety concerns.
I do have a question.
Of course.
Okay. We were speaking about the Oak and Nash Street three-way stop. When there is a big truck turning right, okay, he's stopped. This car comes up, does not realize that that sign underneath the stop sign says three-way stop. I almost got hit, Jane almost got hit, and I've seen other ones. People just think that the traffic coming from Nash Street, going around the corner, okay, or going straight, because we don't have to stop, they don't realize that. They think it's a four-way stop. Is it possible, does the county control that stop sign?
Yes.
To ask them to put that on top of it in big letters, three-way stop? Would that help? Because honestly, that corner is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back to the study that was done, and I think, speak for our department, I think that we were a little surprised that the study revealed that was the resolution there, but that's what they did. You know, I would say we don't have all that many accidents there, but we have a lot of what you're talking about, people
Because you're
slamming on the
slamming your
brakes and just near misses at that intersection. But I've looked at that data just to see, and they're really, people don't end up colliding, but there is a lot of near misses there. Like I said, I think we thought there was likely gonna be a four-way there at some points, and the change to make that a stop when you turn right, I don't know what that, I'm not sure what that resolved.
What about, and I've seen this in a lot of places where it'll say traffic from, you know, doesn't stop. I wonder if just an additional, or maybe there already is.
It's already what it says.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. It is frustrating.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing to maybe try to revisit that with the county. You know, there's a new highway commissioner, well, there will be a new highway commissioner.
Okay.
And then can we revisit the speed limit on M, the 25?
That we have, I have information for you on that, so that's good.
Okay. That would be good. Any other questions? Okay, we'll go to D, library director, Ally is out. E, attorney, Ashley,
Happy to answer any questions if anyone has anything on it.
any questions? Okay, F, administrator, Nathan.
My report's in the packet, also kind of been working, obviously spending a lot of time on budget right now, and creation of TID 7. Other than that, just kind of dealing with construction, timelines and long-term payments for the finances. We did get the finances, for Main Street from the county, on our portion, so I started kind of running numbers there. Did send our numbers off to our, financial advisors as well, to kind of look through how we wanna not necessarily pay for it, cause the kids should be able to take a good portion of it, of the cost, along with the CIP. The biggest question is, you know, do we go and get a bond, or do we do, what type of financing are we gonna do for it? And that's kind of what the financial advisors are gonna kind of help us with. So, kind of been back and forth with them about different things, so we should have some answers in the next few weeks here, hopefully. Kind of be able to present to you guys kind of everything with that, so.
Any questions for Nathan? Okay, we'll go to G, building permit reports. There are none in the packet. H, any other miscellaneous topics for future discussions?
Can we maybe put that intersection back on to a future, discussion?
Which, the Nash and Bolt? Yeah.
Anything else?
I have no idea, I have ideas.
Okay, we'll go to 11, communication and miscellaneous business. A, Black Otter Lake District News. Bob?
Nothing new.
Okay. B, Hortonville Hortonia Fire District News. Jim?
No, nothing new.
Okay. C, Gold Cross Ambulance Run Reports and News. It is in the packet. D, Hortonville Civic Association. Jane is out. E, Senior Activities. Jane is out. 12, comments and suggestions from citizens present. Are there any? Yes.
You knew I was gonna raise my hand. So going back to Nash and Main, okay, which is right now a real pain in the butt, has been since they took the lights down. I live close enough that to get out of my driveway right now, it can be 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get out. There's never a break in the traffic. So I'm wondering, and it's probably really stupid, if they put the lights back up on the corner with the new design, that would take care of your turn, because you'd have the arrows to go, instead of these stop signs where people tend to run through stop signs. They don't stop for stop signs, they don't stop for yield signs, they just go. And that's just a suggestion that I have. I hear a lot of people complaining about the flashing lights and the lights not working, and coming from the issue of the kids walking to school. If the lights were there, you would have the walk, and it might be a little safer than trying to have a crossing guard risk her life to try to stop the traffic with a stop sign. Just a thought.
Anyone else have comments? Yes.
I'll comment on the other intersection, which is Nash and Hope, is that
Mhm.
correct? So we do tournaments with the softball and baseball programs at the Commercial Club Park. And so it's a lot of running back and forth all day long for 3 days straight, and I can't tell you how many times I almost get T-boned coming back and forth. And a lot of that has to do with that traffic is from out of the area.
Yes.
So if you live within Hortonville, you know, right, that this is how it works, but when you have, and those tournaments are growing and growing and growing, we have sometimes 1,500 people in attendance, and a lot of those people are from out of town. So I would highly recommend that we do something different to mitigate the risk on that intersection if we can. Yeah, for sure.
Anyone else have comments? No? Okay, then we will go to 13, and we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 6:30. Thank you.